Something is happening to your national forest. On the slopes above Overwhich Creek, in the headwaters of the Bitterroot River in western Montana, the trees were cut down, then the mountainsides collapsed. How did this happen? Was it the road building? Was it the clear cutting? Was it the deliberately set fires? Who did this? Was it the Forest Service? Was this done with your tax dollars? We met with the Bitterroot National Forest Supervisor, Steve Kelly. He declined a video interview, but did give us the official Forest Service incident summary, stating, "An intense rainstorm on June 25, 1992, caused severe erosion in the channels of 4 tributaries of Overwhich Creek, from the headwaters located in the Overwhich 2 burn to the confluence with Overwhich Creek. Sediment from the tributaries flowed directly into Overwhich Creek and through Painted Rocks Reservoir into the West Fork of the Bitterroot River. Preliminary findings indicate that a large percentage of the fish community in the lower 5 miles of Overwhich Creek may have been destroyed. According to forest watershed and soil specialists, clear cuts and roads did not cause the Overwhich incident or contribute significantly to the eroded material.
This is not a natural disaster. The Forest Service made a series of high-risk management decisions that led to this catastrophe. First, they built roads into this steep roadless area to get up into some of the last untouched forest for the purpose of cutting down the trees. Then they took the risk of clear-cutting the trees on these steep slopes right down to streamside. Then, when they burned the logging slash during hot, dry weather, wildfires escaped on 2 separate occasions. With 1,800 acres of burned forest, clear cuts to streamside, and roads dicing through steep drainages, the land had been put in a precarious situation.
There's 375,000 miles of roads on the national forest in the United States. That makes the Forest Service the #1 road building agency in the world. That's enough roads to go around the circumference of the earth 15 times. It's 1.5 times to the moon and back. It's 8.5 times the interstate highway system.
These burns that we see today are a result of the Forest Service. They were burning slash and clear cuts, and it got out of control. Until prompted, they were not mentioning the cause of the fire. If a member of the public were to start a brush fire in their backyard and it got onto national forest land, they would get a bill to pay for the firefighting and rehabilitation of the land. In this case, the taxpayer foots the bill. It takes at least 10,000 years to build up soil that can sustain a forest. So soil is not a renewable resource. 10,000 years of evolution of soil is heading downhill, along with boulders 3 feet across and trees 100 feet long. Suspended in the water, the clay, silt, and sand kept moving, hit the creek, and killed the fish. 100 miles downstream, the silt has reached Missoula. From the Clark Fork to the Columbia, it will reach the Pacific Ocean.
The Forest Service has broken the law here. The National Forest Management Act mandates that there are not any practices permitted on the national forests that change the water temperature, the chemical composition, the flow, the sediment load, or fish habitat. On every one of those points, the law has been broken.
Congressionally approved Forest Service mismanagement killed this area, and they continue doing this. This is not old forestry. This is 1980s, 1990s style forestry. I don't know if this is just the new forestry or the new and improved forestry, but it's really the same old forestry.
When the Forest Service punches roads like this into previously wild areas, they're no longer available for wilderness designation. Is that why the Forest Service is in such a road-building frenzy?
Suffering an 8-year drought here in Montana, a 1-inch rainstorm could have been a blessing, but it had a detrimental impact. It doesn't take a scientist to recognize that water will follow the path of least resistance. We are right in the middle of the catastrophe. There are eroded drainages on both sides of this, and yet this drainage is still intact. That's because it hasn't been under Forest Service management. This is indicative of what it would have been like with this 1-inch rainstorm on a natural forest. There would not have been a catastrophe.
What we see here today is horrifying to people. It seems hopeless, and folks feel helpless. But there is a wonderful alternative. It's called the Northern Rockies Ecosystem Protection Act. It's a bill proposed by the Alliance for the Wild Rockies, awaiting introduction in Congress by someone with vision and courage. It's a bioregional approach to ecosystem management, protection, and restoration of wild lands. It encompasses the remaining roadless areas in the Northern Rockies of Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and adjacent parts of Oregon and Washington. This bill protects the region's remaining big wilderness complexes, as well as undeveloped corridors between them for migrating wildlife. Wildlife and their habitat don't know state political boundaries.
Overwhich is not an isolated situation. The Forest Service is road building, clear cutting, and burning on every forest in the United States. When will this happen in your backyard? They sawed the right-of-way for the road, and then they came in and they sawed the trees out of the clear cut. And then when the fire escaped, they sawed the fire lines, and then came the sawing for the fire rehabilitation. Now they come in with saws to attempt to patch up the catastrophe. So basically, that's the Forest Service's main tool, the chainsaw. It seems to be their answer to all the needs of the forest. And they're still out here sawing.
I am of this place. I do not own this place. It is the beginning and in the end I will be this place. I am the pattern of the world in the path of virtue, returning to infancy. I will be